I would argue that this is not a face mask. Neither is this. Out of all three, I would argue that only this one can actually be classified as a face mask. And I would argue this in the name of making beauty understandable, because it's confusing. Every single one of these products say mask on them. One is a charcoal peel-off mask, one is a stress rehab coconut and caffeine facial mask sheet, and the other one is a clay mask. They all say masks, but I want to make the point that they actually do very different things. And when it comes to skincare, especially treatment-based, it's hard enough to know what ingredients are good for our skin, what products we should be using, or in what order. And I kind of feel like the face masking industry has done a little bit of a disservice, because all of these products are labeled as face masks, but they actually do very different things. One is an actual face mask, the other is more of a serum, and the third is more of an exfoliator. So let's break down the beauty and explore why. When you look at this physical description, it makes sense. These are all masks. They do cover the face. But in the terms of skincare and in the terms of beauty, it's actually much different. The skincare definition of a mask is a product that is applied to the face that is meant to remove or break down impurities, and also deliver either nutrients or some sort of a skin treatment. Now, this is all well and good, and if you're trying to craft a skincare routine, it's pretty easy to see where a mask would fit in, probably after a toner, potentially before a moisturizer, or maybe even in place of one. The problem becomes when you're trying to mix these with other ingredients. When we look at definitions for other skincare ingredients, such as a cleanser, which works to remove impurities or to clarify and clean the skin, a toner, which is meant to pH balance or to help with pores and product penetration, an exfoliator that's actually supposed to remove dead skin cells from the top layer of the epidermis and help the skin look more radiant, versus a serum, a product that goes onto the skin, infuses nutrients, and leaves the skin prepped for a moisturizer. Now, when you're trying to add a mask to your routine and you look at all of these, they actually do very different things. Not all of these work the way a mask should, detoxifying impurities, breaking down dirt and oil, and delivering nutrients. The sheet mask is a little bit more like a serum. This actually goes onto the skin, sits there for a while, and yes, you technically wear it as a mask, but really what it's delivering to the skin is a serum, and it's just coming with a sheet that happens to be the delivery system. With this peel-off mask, I would argue that this is an exfoliator. This is not a mask in the traditional sense that you just apply to your face and rinse off. This is an actual peeling mask. You peel off layers, and this helps to exfoliate the skin. So if someone's adding this to their routine, I wouldn't use it as a mask. I would use this in place of an exfoliator. Could you imagine if someone is already exfoliating 2 or 3 times a week, thinks to themselves, I want to add a face mask, and this is a great cruelty-free drugstore brand with charcoal that is great for acne, highly recommended. But imagine that they use this as a mask and they decide to do it twice a week. They are then technically exfoliating their skin 5 times a week. And this overexfoliation could make acne or other skin issues worse because your skin needs some time to rebuild. I would argue that this is the only true mask because it goes on like a clay or like a paste. It is something that you put on. It does work to break down oils, etc. The clay in here actually absorbs it. And then on top of that, they've got some kale and vitamin E, which actually infuses into the skin for an antioxidant boost and for a little bit of help with scarring. But I would argue that these types of masks are really the only one that can be used in a routine the way a mask should be. If you're using a sheet mask, that's essentially your toner. You don't need to go in and tone after. And if you're using a peel-off mask, use this instead of your exfoliator so you don't risk over-exfoliation. Face masks are personally one of my favorite part of a routine, and the reason why is because they stay on for 15, 20, or even 30 minutes to deliver nutrients. Don't get me wrong, a good cleanser is awesome, but it stays on my skin for about 60 seconds. And especially if I'm not removing makeup because I didn't wear any that day, I really don't need to use a cleanser that vigorously. And whatever is in there is only gonna work for 60 seconds until I wash it off and go on to the next step. It's the products that actually stay on, such as the serums, the moisturizers, and the masks, that can really deliver a lot of potency. And what I like about masks is that usually companies put in really high amounts of great ingredients, like an oil-absorbing clay, and some really good penetrators, such as acids or fruit extracts or antioxidants. And because they're at higher levels and they sit on the skin for 15 or 20 minutes if you decide to keep them on longer, I feel that they do a lot of the work. Sleep masks are also wonderful, but I would also argue that a sleep mask is more like a moisturizer moisturizer, but that's for another video. If you do want to learn about sleep masks, you can watch that video here. And if you're interested in some tips for acne, if you haven't seen this one, it'll help you. Remember to be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.